It started with these 3 bags of books, which incidentally are all from the same author, Anne Perry. Murder mysteries, except for these 3, which are by Laurie R. King. Started with those 3. Then it went to all of these VHS tapes, which are in excellent condition, with very common titles. And from the VHS tapes, it went to this box of CDs, which are right around 200 CDs. No duplicates, lots of different ones. And finally, it escalated all the way to this box of 61, mostly Blu-rays, some TV box sets, and some CDs. All of this came in to my store within the first couple of hours of being open. It was a donation of books and VHS tapes, then a purchase, a buy of 200 CDs, and then a purchase of 61, like I said, mostly movies, mostly Blu-rays and TV box sets, movies and TV shows, and a few CDs. So it was a busy morning, which I'm very thankful for. Don't get me wrong, but things like this do happen. It kind of comes randomly. It's not every single week that I get this amount of either trades, buys, or donations, but today just happened to be one of those days. Last week, I don't think I got anything. The week before, I might have got some donations, but sometimes I'll just get hit with a lot of them, and that's great. But the donations today were from someone that I've gotten a lot of items from in the past. Thousands, I don't know if thousands, but hundreds of books, maybe over 1,000 at this point. It's been a lot of books they've donated. And then these 2 buys were from different people. Someone had been here months ago and then came back, brought a bunch of stuff. And this guy found me last week who brought me some CDs. So I was happy to do that. There's some stuff in here I haven't had before, and I haven't even gone through all of it. So I paid, what did I pay? $30 for all of these CDs, which I think was a good deal, considering there's a good amount that I pulled out that I haven't seen before, I haven't had in the store, and are worth looking up to see what they're going for. And there were certain bands or groups that there was a bunch of, which is always good. I always like to see that, either to put in the store or to put on eBay, depending on what the group is, what kind of music it is, that kind of thing. So this was a good pickup, even though I still have lots of CDs to go through. If good stuff comes in, it's worth it. It's worth it for me. And then this one was from a guy who had probably, I don't know, a dozen or more boxes of media. It was mostly movies, DVDs, with some Blu-rays, and only 1 box of box sets, which were mostly TV box sets, and then he had a couple of boxes of CDs, but most of the CDs were either country or they were like very well-known bands and groups and singers that I've seen a lot of, and I'm not going to pay for. If he wants to donate them to me, that's fine. I can try to find something good in there, but for the most part, it's not worth it to buy that kind of stuff. These are the kind of mornings or days that don't allow me to get through those pallets or gaylords of CDs. I'm on the 3rd one that I've gotten about halfway through, and I still have 2 more to go after that. So I have already pulled some CDs from there. These 3 boxes were already there from last week. I had planned on starting to go through them, but then I got this stuff in. And also my plan was, before I even went through the CDs from the pallets, was to list a bunch of stuff. So I just listed like, I don't know, 6 or 7 items on eBay, 1 on Amazon, and then I have this stack here of books that I'm going to list on eBay before I start diving into all of this. But what I have found is, if I don't tackle the stuff that comes in right away into my store and start sorting through it, checking the discs, pricing it, etc., doing everything I need to do to get it ready to either sell it on eBay, more likely, or Amazon, or in my store right here, which is currently empty of customers, but I had a nice little flow in the morning, up to like 1-ish. I had a decent amount of people come through. If I don't do that right away, it'll just start to stack up. If I leave this and I say, oh no, I'm gonna go, once I list on eBay all the stuff I have for eBay, I'm gonna start going through all the CDs and the pallets. This will inevitably, I will get more stuff, tomorrow or Saturday or next week, and it'll just start to build slowly but surely. And before I know it, I'll have way too many items to go through, on top of still having to go through the other pallets. So this is kind of what happens, is I try to stay on top of the all the CDs, or try to keep on going through it. But yeah, I'm fortunate that it happens, but at the same time, it does prevent me from getting through all that stuff. So for instance, this large stack here is all from the Gaylords, and that's all CDs that I need to scan on Amazon to see if they're worth selling on Amazon or even on eBay, and find out more information about them, basically. So that's going to be put on the back burner until I can get through all of this now, which is a good thing. Like I said, I'm not complaining. It's just when you make yourself available to the public and you tell people that you accept donations, that you do trades, that you buy, that stuff comes to you. And, some of it's better than others, but there's some really good stuff that comes in the door for sure. I already listed all of these. This one went on Amazon, eBay. I talked about these in another, I think I talked about some of these, but all these went on eBay here. Most of these came from, all the books came from, actually it's a variety. Some of them came from the bookstore. And then this was the pickup here I did. This was from a thrift store. So it's a variety, but from different locations. But I'm glad to get those listed and hopefully sell some soon. The guy that brought me this stuff, he was really set on $1 for each item. So he wasn't really interested in, he didn't appear to be interested in selling them in bulk. So, if he was like, oh, I got 15 boxes or 12 boxes, whatever, of, et cetera, this kind of stuff, I just really want to get rid of all of it at once and move on with life. Maybe I would have offered him, I don't know, $200 for everything, kind of a thing, just by glancing at it, and I still would have done well. But this was stuff that I just picked out that is mostly going to go in the store, but there's other stuff that I can, like the Blu-rays are going in the store, but there's some other stuff that, like there's some sealed TV box sets, that kind of thing. But my point is, you kind of have to just go with what someone wants, right? Like I'm okay with cherry picking. I'm fine with paying $1. If he was like $2 a piece, then I would be like, I'd be even pickier, and would probably have picked out half of this, if that, because I don't need more CDs. I always looking for more Blu-rays and TV box sets. I'm always looking for, especially sealed ones, but ones that I have never had in the store, or maybe I need some more seasons to get closer to completing one, that kind of thing. But I wouldn't be paying too much up for those. But he's willing to continue to lug those around and look for someone else to give them to sell them to. He's claiming he wants to get rid of them, but at the same time, he's not willing. At least, didn't seem like he was willing to make a deal for everything. But at the same, in the same conversation, he says that he has 5,000 vinyl records. About half of them are like the classic rock stuff, and he's going to sell all of those in one price. So he really does try to want to extract as much money as he can from them. And unfortunately, unless you're going to sell them yourself or consign them, you're not going to get top dollar, unless it's some other collector that's feels like it's a deal and has deep pockets and is willing to pay up for them. Because if you figure about 2,500 records, let's say they are actually what he says, that they're in good condition, which is what he said, and that they're like classic rock. Let's say they're like 60s, 70s, maybe even into the 80s. You know, the kind of stuff that a lot of people, baby boomers, are looking for and others are looking for. You know, what would you pay for that? What would he want for those? He's not going to want $1 each. He's probably going to want more. So what, $3 each? And now you're looking at, you know, $7,500. You know, I don't think there's so many people that are going to pay that kind of money. And that's the thing that a lot of owners of media have to understand, is when they're trying to get rid of a lot at once, they've got to take way less money, because there's just few people that are going to pay up, unless there's absolute phenomenal best stuff in there. Sealed vinyl records, mint condition vinyl records that are going for $50, $100 each, then maybe you're going to pay $3, $4, $5 each. You know, you pay $10,000 for 2,500 records. If you know you can turn around and make 50 grand off of them, you know, 10 grand into 50 grand, that's nice. Even 10 grand into 30 grand is pretty nice, but you got to have that 10 grand up front. And, you know, are you, you're sinking a lot into it. And for me, I'm not willing to sink huge quantities of money in one particular type of media. Even if it's amazing, I would rather pay less, essentially, and try to get more profit out of it than really pay up for it, especially a large amount. Like, you know, buying 100 records and he wants 5 each. If they're amazing records and I'm paying $5 each, $500, but I can easily get, you know, $20 to $100 on every single record, then maybe that's different, you know, because 500 is much different than 5,000. So you got to kind of have a bankroll to do that and really know your market, which I do know the market, but at the same time, it's a lot of money to put out. So just keep that in mind. You know, there's a lot of people that are selling their stuff that value it pretty high, and maybe it is valuable, but if you want the top dollar, you're gonna have to sell it yourself. And someone like myself, resellers, we are, you know, an easy way for someone to make quick money and then just get rid of everything. So if you want to make top dollar, good luck. You're better off selling it yourself. But $1 each is fine with me for cherry picking purposes, but not for the entire bunch. You know, if he has 15 boxes, $1 each, that's not going to work. Which, you know, he didn't say that. Well, he essentially was saying that, but he wasn't willing to budge off the dollar. But anyway, all right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.